Of course, thank you for your service, all of the volunteers. I know it takes, a village to put something like this together, so thanks to the volunteers. And of course, thank you to all of you for being here, coming from all over the place to join in this incredible energy and community. And, even though I've never met some of you, I recognize all of you, and it's incredible. And it's like, it's family. So I am nervous. It's been about 2 years since I've actually been on stage in front of real people. It's great that you all have faces. It's great that I can hug you all. That's incredible. I wish I could do that every single live video I do. So I've got tons of information that I have for you today. My greatest intention is to just give you what you need. And that's kind of always my greatest intention. If I have 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever the time is, with someone, with people, what can I give them to increase their vibration, unlock their DNA, and get them to the next level in their ascension? So this is actually the most unprepared I've ever been for any lecture. But the funny thing is, every time I sat down to write something down, I was like, nope, nope, nope. Just go there, just feel it, just enter into the energy. And I think I know what you guys need, and I'm hoping to give you pieces of that today. So yeah, once again, huge thank you to all of you for showing up. I wanted to ask you a question. Of those of you in the crowd, who here has ever seen some of my content? Raise of hand. Okay, cool, awesome. Who here has never, you have no idea who I am. I'm just some short chick on stage. Okay, that's fine, raise your hand, that's okay, whatever. All right, good. I'm gonna skip over the pleasantries and I'm gonna skip over introducing myself, and we're gonna get right into the information. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, also, can I get one volunteer, just one, because I don't want you guys to be, time anxiety. One volunteer to give me a 10-minute warning at the end. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, just put up the 10 and oh, you've got an actual, okay. Wow. Prepared. You're on it. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's telepathy for you. That's fantastic. Okay, so the information that I really wanted to present today, the thing that came to me before I got here, is how to engineer your own ascension. So that's kind of what I'm going to finish off with, is engineering your own ascension, because I believe that we're all psychic. I believe that we're all powerful. I believe that we are all gifts to this planet. I believe especially in this room, we all have something to give back. We're all teachers. We're all thought leaders. We're all way showers. And that's incredible. So always my intention is to empower you to step into what that mission is, step into that power, and to give back to the planet, because, we need it at this time more than ever before. I was going to say, I do have T-shirts and books, but there's kind of this energy at the end of this lecture of, I didn't want to sell books and T-shirts and whatever at the end of this, so I'm actually going to come back to the conference tomorrow morning at 11. Show of hands, who's going to be back tomorrow morning? Fantastic. All right, cool. If you want a book, if you want a T-shirt, if you want a photo, I will be here at 11 outside somewhere with all of that for you, okay? So just planted the seed. If we do have time at the end of this lecture, I'm totally open to questions. So keep that in mind. I won't be doing any individual channeling with your questions, so try and make them universal and open or relevant to the conversation today. Cool? Awesome. Thumbs up. Love it. I love seeing your thumbs up. Let's get started. All right. So I want to kind of go over a little update on what's happening on the planet right now. Some shit's going down. We're in the middle of a war, and we've been in this war for a while. This is nothing new. Maybe we're recognizing it for the first time. Maybe it's really tough for the first time in a while, but this has been going on for quite some time. And at a global level, we can see this war take place, literally. But the war I'm talking about is a spiritual one. There's a battle. It's World War III. It's the light versus the dark. It's the shadow government versus the white hats. It's the extraterrestrials versus the extraterrestrials. It's the humans versus the entire frickin' universe. Truly. And the real war that's taking place is inside of us, right? We all know about the light and dark battle. But what I really wanted to talk about, just to begin with, is what's happening inside of us. And we take a look in the world, and we see that this 3D old reality matrix is collapsing. We've got the education, the financial, we've got political, we've got mass media. It's all crumbling down right now. A lot of people are in a lot of fear. But what we don't really realize, or we don't really, I guess, emphasize enough, is what's happening within each and every one of us. And the more that we look outside of ourselves and distract ourselves from everything that's taking place in the world, the less we have time, energy, and space to look within. And that's the emphasis that I wanted to put just in the beginning here. Yeah, there is a war going on out there at a physical level, at a vibrational level. But what's happening inside you right now? Where are you at? Where's your awareness at? Where are your intentions at? Where's your focus at? Is it inside? Or is it on everything else that's going on around you? One of the downloads that I had, it was about 6 months, it was almost every week for 6 months before 2022, was something that I call or coined vibrational navigation. And this is the ability for each one of us as vibrational beings to navigate the densities in this reality. And what I mean by that is we're all freaking empathic. A lot of us didn't even realize how empathic we were until 2020 hit. Oh my God, I'm having a panic attack. Oh my God, I can't go grocery shopping. I can't go to anywhere anymore because we're all sensitive to the fear that's out there. We're empaths, we're starseeds. Of course we're going to be sensitive to everything. And so we have to be very vigilant. We have to be very aware of these energies, of what's going on around us. And vibrational navigation, which I didn't even think about honestly before 2022, is the ability to connect and subsequently disconnect from the world around us. Now, if you think about your mom or your dad, and word up to my mom because she's here today, all the way from Canada. But if you think about your... whoop whoop, eh? Did you bring the maple syrup? Like when you think about our parents, our friends, but especially family members, there's so many layers energetically. There's so many experiences, not only to mention the experiences in this lifetime with those people, but the experiences in all of your other lifetimes with those same people. That's some heavy stuff that we have to navigate through. So when I say vibrational navigation, it's important to disconnect and cut cords from the people that you love, almost especially from the people that you love. But also think about the stuff in your life. The clothing, the car, I don't know, the things, the crystals. Think about the crystals in your life. Are you attached to them? Do you need them? Are they a part of your identity? It's time to cut cords. It's time to let go of that baggage. It no longer serves you in this higher vibration. Vibrational navigation is not just navigating the world's vibrations, it's navigating every single vibration in your life. And that's really important for us to learn how to connect and disconnect from the world around us. That's empowering because all of a sudden you stop feeding other people's realities. You stop feeding the matrix. You stop validating your need to be anyone other than who you are because you just get back to yourself. And that's a scary place. Because guess what? we haven't actually been taught how to be authentic, how to be integral, how to be real, how to be without the shit, how to be without the identifiers. We haven't been taught that. No one teaches us that. In fact, it's when we are so overwhelmed in the layers and the shit and the identifiers where we start to choose a different path. I have everything that society tells me I should have. Why am I depressed? Why am I anxious all the time? Why am I unhappy still? And that's when you choose to wake up. That's when you choose to cut cords. And this might be a bit TMI, but I kind of, liken clearing your energy and navigating your vibration like a good colon cleanse, you know? You're always eating, so there's always shit to clear. No pun intended, or pun intended. And it's the same thing with energy. Like, we're physical beings. We're in the third dimension reality. We're interacting. We're looking at people. We're touching objects. We're creating identifiers. We're creating entanglement and connections. We're interacting with this world, which means you can't just have an ego death and be done with it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really broke down a couple years ago, but I'm good. I'm good. No, don't worry about me. It's got to be a consistent looking inward. It has to be. That's the real battle. Don't worry about who's winning out there. Don't worry about what conspiracy theory is correct. Stop getting roped into the agendas. Stop giving your power away to the matrix because you think that that's the truth. Because guess what? It's gonna blow your mind, all right? It's all the truth. All of it. All of it. All of the good, all of the bad, all of the shitty, all of the high, all of the low, everything. It's all the truth. It's all simultaneously existing. So for us to get wrapped up and entangled into what is the ultimate truth, what is really happening in the world, that's 4D shit. You're beyond that. Right? Yeah. It's important that we are constantly looking inward, and anything or anyone or any object that takes you outside your focus, outside of yourself, you are entering into the matrix and you're leaving the truth. Because that's who you are. You're the truth. That's what source is. Getting back to source is getting back to self. It is as easy as that. Awakening can be difficult because it involves things like aliens and ascension and quantum physics, and it gets real complex real fast. But all of that, it's pretty cool. I love quantum physics. It's really cool. But all of that is still an illusion. We don't realize that the matrix, simulation, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't just exist here on planet Earth. It's all over the universe. You know, sometimes, because I do channel the Galactic Federation, I get really caught up in, well, who's winning, and what are the timelines, and what are the reptilians doing, and what do we need to know right now about all of that? And then I'm like, this is all source. Does it really matter? We're here for a moment. We're here for an experience. We're here for this. I have to remind myself constantly to go back in, within. And what's really incredible when you get back into that place within yourself is that you realize that everything exists there, but also nothing exists at all. So that's kind of the first point that I wanted to bring up is understand that the battle isn't happening out there. The real battle, the real focus, the real shit, it's happening in here. Let go of your ancestral trauma. Let go of your past lifetimes. Clear your karma. And you know what? It sounds like a long road. Sounds like a lot of work. But I believe that we can clear our karma instantaneously. If you believe that you can clear your karma instantaneously, guess what happens? It clears instantaneously. If you believe that you need a past life regression and a $30,000 course and a freaking guru to help you navigate, guess what? You're going to constantly be searching for what you always already had. You know? It's there. It's always been there. Stop searching. Know that your belief will anchor in whatever that reality is. If I believe that the sky is purple, guess what I'm going to see in the next sunset? The fucking purple sky, right? Seriously, though. And, this kind of navigates me into a download that I had today. Brings me to the present moment. There are levels of belief. And it's a very new download, so I'm just going to navigate it with all of you. I believe from the download, as of 2 hours ago, that there are 3 layers of belief. And I'm going to use the example of loving yourself. What a great example. Obviously, we all know you got to love yourself. But do you really believe it? Now, the first layer of belief is kind of like a projected surface layer. And, there's a saying fake it till you make it, which is cool. And at first I'm I would never do that. I'm not going to say something I don't believe or don't really fully own. But I believe that in that first layer of belief, faking it till you make it is totally, you can own it. Absolutely. If you don't believe that you're abundant, and yet every day you say, I am abundant, I have infinite access to opportunities, you say that long enough, you're going to sink that first projected layer of belief into the second layer of belief, which is, yeah, I love myself. I do. I really do. But do you, right? Second layer of belief is great because it feels authentic. It feels real. It feels like it's right there. And it feels like you really do believe it. And I'm sure if you took a lie detector test, it would say, yeah, you believe it, right? But what I've really noticed, especially since 2020, is that there's this very deep, subconscious, subliminal level of belief. And that is what's going to anchor in your experience. Because based on quantum physics, what we observe, we create. We are the creators of our reality. So, what is observation but belief? What is belief but focus? I learned this, funny enough, many years ago when I started to channel quantum physics. And I'm all right, cool, wave-particle duality. I'm not looking at the wall behind me, so therefore it should be in a wave state. So therefore I should be able to stick my hand through the wall. I hurt my hand a lot that year. Yeah, that was pretty painful. And then I was so frustrated. I know it's possible. I know it's real. To the point where I've seen past lifetimes of myself as a yogi in Burma levitating. I know that quantum physics is real. Why can't I levitate? Why can't I stick my hand through a wall? It's this very, very deep subliminal layer of belief. We need to start questioning ourselves and our beliefs. So if you're I really love myself, then does every single person in your life love you as much as you do? No, they don't actually, yeah. Okay, cool, then you don't actually love yourself as much as you say you do. Because every single person in your life is a mere reflection of you. So what are you doing to yourself? You're doing that, not them. Not lack, not limitation. Not even past lifetimes or chakra blocks. It's all great. We can blame it on many things. But ultimately, it's you. It's your belief. And when you first start to awaken, you question everything, right? What is this reality? What is extraterrestrial life? What is the shadow government? What is the Illuminati? And so on and so forth, which is great. And then you start to question yourself. Who am I? What am I doing here? What's my mission? Which is great. But then at a certain point, you let it go and you move on. I want to remind all of us, myself included, hence why I got the download. I'm like, all right, noted. What do I believe? What's my belief? I want you to really anchor in the deepest layers of belief. I want you to really think to yourself, what in my life is not working? Because I want to remind you right now that you deserve for everything in your life to be working. And not just working, thriving. Bingo. Exactly. You deserve that. Like, how many starseeds overgive every moment of their entire lives only to overgive again in the next life, to feel obligated, to not know who you are, to be taken advantage of, to feel so strongly that you need to give to someone, but you can't actually ask for help. You deserve to thrive. You deserve to be abundant. You deserve to receive. But you have to start taking ownership over your belief. Your belief is your intention. Your intention is your focus. Your focus creates your reality. Sure, if you want to meditate for 3 hours a day, go ahead. I don't. It's about anchoring in the intentional energy into the moments in between your reality. I don't know about you guys, but I got to pay the bills. I don't have time to meditate for 6 hours a day. But what I do have time for is to wake up in the morning and say, what's my greatest intention for today? To eat food and say, what's my greatest intention for this plate of beautiful, delicious food? Or to sip the water and say, what's my intention? What is this water giving me in this moment? It's been scientifically proven that our intention changes the molecular structure of this reality, right? So what are we doing? Why aren't we intentional? Why aren't we creating our life? Take responsibility. Everything that's wrong in your life is you. Sorry, not sorry. It's you. Yeah. So, what are you going to do about it? Right? You got no one to fall back on. You have no government to blame. You have no parent or ancestral trauma or bullshit to blame. You don't. It's you in this present moment that is creating your very next moment. It is you and no one else. All right? It's just so important. So I want to mention something else about being intentional at this time. Like I said, with your food, with your day, with your time, with your energy. Funny story, like the other day I had to go into Home Hardware and get this thing, and I was like, oh God, it's so overwhelming. I just really don't want to do this goddamn human thing. And so I'm like, whoa, don't get into reaction, right? I catching myself. So it was like 20 minutes before I was going, and I'm like, what do I want my experience to be at Home Hardware, being a human, doing the human things, picking up this water heater or whatever. So I said, parking karma, want the perfect parking spot. I want it to be easy to find. I want it to be quick, in and out, less than 15 minutes, boom, 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 and I'm out of there. I go there, parking karma, perfect parking space. I go in, aisle 34, I'm directed, and I go to the aisle, and it's all blocked off, and I'm like, oh God, here we go. Here it is. And I'm like, hey, I don't know why this aisle's blocked off, but this is where I need my thing, and it's like way up there. And she's like, what are you looking for? I'm like, oh, it's like hot water heater, whatever, blah, 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 27-watt thing. And she's like, that's so odd, because we never sell those, but a customer 10 minutes ago just ordered the same thing, and it happened to be on the 5th shelf, so we had to get this thing, and we had to block off the aisle to get the thing that you need. She's like, that's very odd. This never happens. Cool. No big deal. Yeah, cool, thanks for the thing. Less than 15 minutes, in and out, boom, boom, boom. Right? Like, that's a human thing. We want to manifest and intentionalize our reality and big picture things and huge mission manifestations. Manifest going to the grocery store. Right? Why not? Why not have the easiest, most in flow, most joyous, most expansive, most incredible human experience as well? When are we ever reminded to enjoy being human, especially on a spiritual journey? Cool, the fifth dimension, cool, yeah, it's good and all, But you still gotta pay the bills. You still gotta be in this body. You still got to answer the emails, You still got to be here. So why not make it the best here you can, right? So right now at this time, there are people all over the world, as we know, we probably know some, who are in a lot of fear. And so I see energy, and the way that I see fear is, like the cartoon Charlie Brown, and the guy who's always dirty, right? He's like got the little dust, thing around him. I don't know what his name is. Anyway, that is chaos frequency. When you're in fear, when you're in a lower vibration, when you literally think the world is ending, that's what your frequency looks like, right? Most of the world is in that frequency right now. It means they're in fight or flight. It means they're in survival. And what that means for us, because I know you guys aren't in fear, you're here. What that means for us is that there are 7, 8, whatever billion people out there who are not consciously creating their reality. You're not competing for reality manifestation space. Which means that if you're intentional and you're clear and you're focused, and you're like, I gotta go to Home Depot, you can create the best possible experience at Home Depot. And you can create it instantly. It took me 3 years to create whatever I wanted 10 years ago. It's taking 3 minutes to create things now. You're cutting through the chaos with your intention. You have zero excuse for living a shitty life. I know shit's going on, but I don't know what's going on in your life. You have zero excuse for not living your most empowered, your most abundant, your most exciting, your most thriving life. You have zero excuse because that falls on you. That is your ownership. And all you have to do is ask yourself, what do I believe? What's my focus? What is that? Go within. So now I want to switch gears to engineering your own ascension. This is really cool. So many years ago, when I was taking clients, I met this amazing, I think he was 60 plus man, and we hit it off right away, definitely starship companions. His name is Richard. And what came through in a session was incredible. He was just kind of doing a whatever human job. And on the side, what his soul was doing was, at nighttime, he was going up to the Galactic Federation mothership. And it was so wild to see this. So there's this whole laboratory, I guess you could call it. It looked like a laboratory. And very similar to a restaurant. You're a cook at a restaurant, you get a ticket with the order. Anyway, I was a cook, so whatever. You get a ticket when you have an order. So it was so weird. There's all these beings in this laboratory on board this ship, and a ticket or / an order would come in. I'm what's going on here? And then there was these beings who were working on something. And what it looked like was they were taking all of these different colored light energies and they were putting it together in this like spherical round ball thing. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then they like shoot it down this chute and they bring it, like they like shoot it down to planet Earth. And I'm like, what is going on? What's happening? And what came through is that this guy, Richard, was actually an ascension engineer. This is so wild. This is a thing. This is a position up there that he was doing in his astral, but beings in the physical actually do this. And so, this is really cool. This was like years ago. So if you're like here having a human experience, you're like, oh my goodness, please help. Like, I just need a little bit of DNA activation. I just need a little bit on the side. Like, just help me raise my frequency. And you put it out there. You don't even have to call upon the GFL. But they hear that call. And you're that ticket. You're that order. Like, all right, cool. Joe Schmo needs an upgrade. This is what he needs. This is where he's at. And what they do is they put everything together for you, and they shoot it down. Actually, as a matter of fact, there was a lot of issues with these upgrades back in, what was this, 2011, 2012? There was a lot of issues with this because people weren't ready. And unfortunately, that would blow their third eye open, and they would end up in a psych ward, and it would be very traumatizing. I know many people who have gone through a very traumatic awakening. They're like, please, just get me there. Just get me there. Just give me what I need. And then all of a sudden, it's too much, right? Nowadays, I don't think that's as much of a fear. We've done a lot of the work. So what I want to kind of relay to you is that you don't need to call upon the Galactic Federation or your spirit guides or your higher self or your guardian angel to give you these upgrades. You are the engineer. You're already asking for what you need. Why not create it? So what I want you to do, as a little piece of homework for all of you, is maybe tonight, maybe this weekend, maybe at home, whatever, I want you to get your notebook out, and I want you to think about what you need. Maybe words, maybe colors, maybe energies, maybe numbers, whatever you resonate with. What do you need? But I want you to be clear about it. I need more love. Okay, cool. Like, anything else, Like, what do you need? And then I want you to also think about, what do you need at a vibrational level? I need more harmony in my life. I need more community, more connection, more empowerment. I need to speak my truth, whatever that is, right? What do you need at a vibrational level? But what do you need at a physical level? What does your human need? It's okay to ask for physical things, all right? But what's the highest vibration around that physical thing? Well, you know what? I don't have a car. I'd really like a car. Cool. What's your intention? What's your highest vibration around needing that car? I want to have freedom to go where I please. Once you anchor the vibration of what it is that you need or why it is that you need that thing, it happens. Like, okay, I need a car, but like I can't afford it, and like I don't know what to get, and like what brand, and like what color, and get away from all of that. We're no longer living in a linear third dimensional reality. We're living in a quantum reality where things are already happening even before you think them. So think about what you need. The color, the emotion, the energy, the vibration. For such a long time, my greatest intention was freedom. What a powerful intention. I think all starseeds really want that. We've been so suppressed. We've been so contained. We've been so programmed for such a long time. I want freedom from the system. I want freedom in my bank account, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I want freedom in my time, my schedule. I want freedom in my community. I want freedom in my relationship. I want freedom in my communication. I want all the freedom. And it took a while, but slowly but surely, every single aspect of my reality aligned to that highest intention. Like I said, it took about 3 years. This was also about 6 years ago. So like, wink, wink, things are happening a lot faster than that. Anything that did not align to my highest intention of freedom fell away. And in the moment, I'm like, no, you're my like best friend for 10 years. But wait a second. I feel anxious every time I talk to you. I feel like you always need something from me, but I don't feel free to ask you for what I need, right? When you break away from what isn't working, because you set the highest vibration and the intention, and you start to realize that it really wasn't aligned to that intention. So I want you to engineer your own ascension. Take full responsibility for what it is that you want, what it is that you need, where it is that you're going, and what your highest intention is. And I'm going to leave you off with something that I find really empowering. I can't take ownership for it, but I will for sure repeat it. It was like a friend of mine who said, I listened to this podcast and they said this thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. I always have to give credit where credit is due, because everything I usually channel. And so she said that, we're always thinking and preparing for the worst case scenario. What's the worst that could happen? And then what you do is you put blockers, defenders. You end up self-sabotaging, actually, because you're trying to prevent the disappointment by, what? Disappointing yourself first. What's the worst that could happen? And when you ask yourself that question, what are you doing? You're focusing on the worst possible timeline. What are you doing when you focus on anything? You're creating it, right? So what I want to leave you off with today is, what's the best that could happen? In every situation. I'm going to Home Depot. God damn. What's the best that could happen at Home Depot? And you can create it, because guess what? You deserve it. So from moment to moment, if I leave you with anything, which isn't even my own thing, what's the best that could happen? Thank you guys so much.